Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you again for joining me this week. Had a stream yesterday. It was a pretty productive stream about Superman, Henry Cavill's Superman. That was fun. But we are reviewing the Obiwan series right there. And we just watched episode 5 today. I'm waiting on my co-host. He'll be here in just a second. But just wanted to get in here and say, hey, what's up? This is sort of an impromptu. We're just really wanted to talk about it. It's the second to last episode for the Obi-Wan season 1, apparently, by the looks of it. Unless they're going to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours to really, sort of, I don't know, wrap things up. But let me see here. I'll mute this guy. Let me know when you're ready, buddy. And anyway. But thank you guys for joining in. He's in the background. We're adding some overlays because we're gonna break this thing down that we watched today. And it wasn't a bad episode by any means, but there were some not logistical because isn't that career? There's some logic that is lacking, and
yeah. There we go.
What's up, man? And there he is, my co-host.
We're uploading as we speak.
He was on his way. There he is. Taking his sweet time. What's going on, Matt? And how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That's fantastic.
We're live.
We're live. Yeah, hey, we're live. So you saw the episode this morning. I saw the episode. I wake up extra early every morning because I can't stand to get on the internet and watch the spoilers or listen to the spoilers. Yeah, and by the way, guys, this is going to be a spoiler review. We don't do non-spoilers because it's a waste of time. Either you've seen it or you haven't seen it. There's no need in us going live just to say, hey, we liked it. All right, go watch it. Come back when you're done. But anyway, so yeah, episode 5, second to last episode. One thing I can say about these episodes from 1 to 5 so far is that they don't seem to be like The Mandalorian in that they're any real filler episodes. There's always something happening.
Well, you kind of have to with a limited series, right?
It's a limited series, but it's a limited series that might get a second season. So it might not be as limited as we thought.
As we believe.
This isn't the series you thought it was. So yeah, it might be something completely different, but yeah, man. I see you're still uploading images. One more image, and then we'll be ready to go. And we'll talk about it in chronological order. So here, let me take this one out.
One more.
There we go.
And we're done.
You're pissing me off.
There we go. Now we're good.
Okay, good. All right, so I guess first impressions. What was your first impression of the episode?
Okay,
that's fantastic. What did you think?
I'm gonna focus.
Oh, you're not focused.
All right.
Okay, so you have to be that close the whole episode.
It started off great. The pacing was great. I thought everything was great until the end.
All right. Well, we're not okay. Well, let's go over some of the things that I would say that you liked, and then we'll address the elephant in the room.
I liked the flashback.
Okay. So this is okay. So a lot of people, I would assume, are going to tear up the de-aging of Hayden Christensen. And it wasn't flawless, but it was for me. It's okay. For me, I'm fine with it. It didn't.
I wish they would have worked on his eyes a bit more. That's it, just his eyes.
Well, I mean, for me, it wasn't the eyes. Yeah, I get the bags. For me, it wasn't so much that. It was more of the mouth, around the mouth. I mean, you can definitely tell that he's aged, right? And that's fine. And with the whole Luke thing, they replaced the actor's face with a digital face, and on here, what they're just trying to do is they're trying to de-age, just like they did with Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man in the Avengers series. So and I like the hair. Look at that. That's that doesn't look great on Obi-Wan, but
I'm sure they were excited.
I think de-aging. I think they, in my opinion, they de-aged Obi-Wan to perfection. They de-aged Hayden as best they could. And that's my opinion of that. So, but I'm fine with it. I was a little curious as to why he was dressed like this and not dressed in his episode 3 garb, because that would have the bags under the eyes and the mouth and all that would have made it a little bit more believable because he's older. Back in episode 2, he was a teenager. He was like maybe 18, 19, whatever. But yeah, so
I feel like
I like the sequence. I love the flashbacks. We haven't had any flashbacks yet. And that's what we were talking about this in the last episode, of course. For those of you that have watched the last episode, we talked about that in the last episode. So,
by the way, we talked about that.
We talked about that in the last episode. So anyway, yeah. So we want to say. We thought it would have been cool to have, some flashbacks of scenes just like this that you hadn't seen before.
But we were thinking cooler. We were thinking like,
in battle with armor, kind of working together and Obi-Wan seeing how his Padawan is changing before his eyes and all that. I did like the use, and there's one good thing with that I can give the director is that I did like the use of how Obi-Wan was sort of like figuring out what move Vader was going to pull next based on past experience.
Yeah.
So I did like that. I thought that was a pretty good touch. But the problem is that in this episode, she also doesn't. It's like in that situation, great game of chess. In the other situation that we're going to talk about later is like they were playing checkers or Chinese checkers, or it wasn't chess. It wasn't set up to get checkmate. It was. And that's happened before, and we'll get into that in just a bit. So, go ahead, Matt, take us away. What are your highlights? What do you think was what did you get most excited for in this episode?
Most excited for, seeing Order 66 again, but with Hayden just entering the room with 501st. That's cool.
Yeah.
Different angles. I like seeing him, and I like seeing him in general.
Sure.
Okay. I thought the Saber clash between Vader and Reva was cool. I thought I actually
I liked their fight, if you would call it a fight. I liked it. I thought
it resembled
interesting.
Yeah, it resembled clearly she was outmatched, but it resembled to me like Obi-Wan versus Anakin fighting in their flashback. But it was more like, okay, like you're not in my league.
She definitely was not. It was an interesting fight. Some of the things that I thought, I was like, okay, well, nah, Vader sort of, playing with her a little bit. I get it, but we're not there yet. We'll talk about that in a bit. Let's go ahead and pull up the next, I guess the evil droid. Is that what you, are we going in sequential order or?
I pulled up
here's the
you asked.
Hey, what's up, Film Goblin? He says, how does Qui-Gon die, but the Inquisitor? Okay, so we'll get into that. That's one of the things that we're going to get into later on. I actually made something, and here we go. We'll bring this up from being stabbed. He was stabbed in the abdomen, just like Qui-Gon, just like Reva. But we'll get into that.
But right Reva got promoted.
Yeah, Reva, Las Vegas. So here he is in his Star Destroyer. This is very reminiscent of Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and all that. Very cool to see. I didn't mind this scene. I like the nostalgia. I like seeing Vader back in this setting. But yeah, so you brought up this image. What were your thoughts when you were putting this?
I'm just going in sequential order, just kind of like.
All right, so that one's done. So here we go. We have the
evil droid.
Now the evil droid. I liked that it actually did something that was cool. I like that it had
it wasn't just a tracker.
It wasn't just a tracker. Yeah, that it actually got manipulated. What I didn't like was the little magnet. It was like, oh, it's turned from red to blue, but
it's like a Decepticon.
And I also didn't like that it was hiding in the wires and it was like, I'm going to attack Leia.
I didn't get that because he's glowing red. He's glowing red. How do we not see a glowing red light?
How do we? Well, I think he turned it off, but I'm just saying it didn't seem. I don't know. It was like, why wouldn't you just attack her from the jump?
Yeah, I don't know.
And he didn't really attack her very well because she grabbed him. She was like, "Yo, come here," like a little toy.
Yeah, it was like.
And so yeah, I didn't. I was like, okay, that was all for nothing. Like, there's no suspense. There's, it was kind of like, okay, next.
And I mean, a gripe I have with like just this series overall is like lack of music, just lack of anything.
I heard music at like one point in time.
I hear it, but it's not like as iconic.
As far as like it's sort of there, but it's
like
not
like the first trailer they played Duel of Fate.
It's not.
So I'm expecting prequel music somewhere. I'm expecting something to happen, or even a real original trilogy music, but none of that happened. There's just like this whole series has been bland with music.
Yes, it bland. I can agree with that.
And like,
go ahead.
Like what the rescores on just YouTube alone, like fans are just making it look and sound so much better.
Same thing with superhero movies. It just seems like fans have a better grasp of what they want to see and how they want to see it.
Like not even Darth Vader's theme has been playing. Nothing.
The Imperial March is definitely something that was played at the end of episode 3, and of course we didn't hear it in episode 4, did we? In the remastered, maybe they added it back in. If they did, that'd be. I have to watch it again. It has been a while. But I digress. So here we go. We have the duel, and this sort of
chess match.
The chess match.
Black,
this is great. I liked it.
And there you go, Coruscant. You got back to Coruscant.
You got Coruscant. I wasn't sure if it was Coruscant until we found out it was Coruscant.
Like an off-brand.
Don't like going back to Coruscant. It was kind of like okay, so this is reminiscent of the room that has all the seats, but they just okay, we're just gonna blow out the windows. And
we're gonna put pillars in the seats.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. I liked it. I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm digging it. Let's go. So,
but since Anakin wasn't de-aged, I was like, oh, maybe this is a what if.
No, they did de-age him, but they didn't do
like he looked good in certain.
They couldn't make
lighting.
Him look like a teenager again. There's just no way.
He looked good in certain lighting. But others, I don't know. He kind of looked old.
I am willing to suspend my disbelief on something like this. I'm like, know what? I applaud you for getting Hayden back, giving him another chance at Anakin. Letting us enjoy him again in that role.
I dig it.
So, I dig it. Step into a Slim Jim. So here we go. So, you have all the Jedi weapons.
I guess that have passed through.
That have passed through. Apparently, I mean, a lot.
Maybe given.
It looks like a lot of Jedi were able to get away from the Order 66 thing. It wasn't that successful. Right? And that's kind of the thing is like, wow, how many Jedi can get away from the Empire, and how long until we finally get down or dwindle it down to the last remnants of the Jedi, where you have Yoda, Obiwan, and then of course Luke and Leia, and then you have planet here.
Oh, I was just showing the planet. I don't know. Sometimes you bring up the planet.
The planet. What the hell planet?
I don't know. Mopauzu.
Oh, yes. I believe they even said it too. I was like, oh,
I don't remember.
It's like, it's interesting. Okay.
It's another desert planet.
Desert. Desert. So here she is going into the little crawl space that only she can fit into. It kind of reminds me of BB-8. From the sequel trilogy that we don't really talk too much about, but it's reminiscent of that. You have all the wires and whatever, but this was just sort of like, what do we get Leia to do? Oh, I know. We'll put her in a small room that only she can fit in, and have her do this while all this chaos is going on.
Which was fine, but there was no.
Which was funny because in the base, before these guys were getting in, like as they were setting up, as the resistance people or rebels or whoever the hell they are, were setting up. They were walking around. Like I'm sorry, but I was like, "Where's the urgency? Aren't these guys supposed to be actors? Yeah. Act like you're doing shit." They were just casually walking around like those people on Besman.
We got them pinned.
Yeah, we're fine. Vader's out there. We've got a blast door. Open the blast door. And now they're using a lot of I like seeing the what is that gun? The EE something?
Which one?
The big cannon. I like seeing that.
3?
I don't recall. It's from.
Are you talking about the one that the Death Troopers use, or no?
From episode 5. It's from the Snow Troopers when they were running through.
Oh, the E11.
E11. No, that's
the normal one. Which
I'm talking about the cannon.
The picture. Oh, the cannon.
In the back.
No, we don't talk about the cannon.
That the Snow Troopers were setting up. Oh my God. Okay, so that was a cool callback.
I forgot what that's called. It's a turret. There you go. It's a turret.
There you go. All right. Never mind.
Organa.
Organa, yeah, he's back. He found a way. He looks so stoic, and like I was like, he was like, I know we weren't supposed to communicate, but I'm gonna give a whole bunch of information here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about Luke.
Remember the children?
This device won't fall into the wrong hands. I have complete and total, confidence that you will not lose this device, Obi-Wan. It will not fall into the wrong hands. But it was cool. It's cool to see him again. But that's kind of it. That was it. What are your thoughts? You look like you're doing something.
Well, I mean, yeah, you were going off on a tangent. I was just watching you.
Well, okay, here we go.
Well, hold on. I'm not ready. I'm not quite
You're not ready. Okay,
you're
not ready.
Touching it. I'm touching it.
Don't touch it. So, what are your thoughts?
Okay. I mean, okay. First of all,
okay, let's start with number one.
The whole Organa thing. I mean, it's cool. I just don't understand. Like, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. I just don't understand the whole plot device of like, oh, Luke's in trouble now. It's like, I just don't understand why.
Why
do we
so
have to go there?
So then let me bring you back. I'll reel you back in. Let's go. That's not it. Where is?
Okay. How far back we go?
This right here, Leia, in this season or in this episode or this type of show, this is Grogu. You have Obi-Wan, who represents the Mandalorian, and he is charged with getting little Grogu or little Leia back to her people, which happens to be Bail Organa. And so that's sort of the whole plot device that they're using for this Obi-Wan season. And then in here you have the same thing like in the Mandalorian. You have that guy from The Boys, and he had the dark saber. I forgot his name. He's on the Empire. He had a cape. He tried to kill people with in a TIE fighter, and then he should have died.
Wait, when
in Mandalorian season 2. Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon, yes.
Well, welcome to the discussion. So basically, in Moff Gideon, you have Vader, and you have people, you have the Dark Troopers and all that. I mean, it just there's so many parallels. Yeah, you can say that.
And what's crazier is like we keep getting new troopers, but I never see these new troopers again.
Well, that's because it's just for toys. It's just for show. It's just like,
I know, but like a one and done thing. Like I want to see
it's a one and done thing.
A different series.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that
like, where the hell are the Death Troopers? Why do we have these?
They're in the Mandalorian season 2. They were there.
Yeah,
so they did bring them back.
I know, but where are they again?
They're I'm sorry, but if you're going to be introducing all these troopers and all that, and then you go watch episode 4 A New Hope, and you watch episode 5 and you watch episode 6, they're nowhere to be found.
Nowhere.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You gotta wait for the next special edition.
Special edition. That's the next thing that, I mean, if I'm Disney or whatever, I'm gonna make a special edition and put them in the background, and
they don't even
just
have
some
shooting.
fun. They
just have them there.
Just have them there. Yeah, it's fun. Who cares?
Even
George made like 12 different special editions before he signed over to Disney. But Disney, again, they do some things that are, high five, thumbs up, and then they do some things that are, thumbs down. So not so great. So Obi-Wan's talking to Reva through the door, and she understands what he's trying to do. I like that. Again. We'll get to that later on. So I like the whole interaction between her and Obi-Wan through the door, and I like that she tried to do the Qui-Gon thing where she tried to shove her saber through the blast door.
But what I don't like about that, it's like, why didn't we do that in the beginning? If the door opened up so easily, why didn't?
Well, okay, so you in this, and I'll go ahead and give her a pass for this, but in this, it's a story, right? And so maybe this character didn't think of that. Maybe they're not at the top of their game. This Reva character is not some all-knowing, chess master that, not a grand inquisitor.
She's on her own side. She's not. She's doing her own thing. Basically, a Padawan, a youngling. Basically, she doesn't know shit.
So she's, and again, we'll get into that later. But
youngling, there she is.
Yeah, there she is. And so on this image here, leave it up. Yes. I have to give props to Zod Writer because he did get this right. He was the first person that I had spoke with. I don't know who he spoke with before, if anybody, but You know, when I was on a stream with Max, you know, he brought that up about that being her, and I was like, yeah, but we didn't have any context, so I didn't know if it truly was or not. So I have to give him props for that. I was like, yo, you got that shit right.
Not take it away from it, but I felt like that was common sense. I mean,
yeah, but you didn't say it, so therefore,
I did.
No,
I
you
did.
didn't. You didn't say
did.
it, and therefore,
do we have to rewatch?
That's
the review?
an L.
We have to rewatch the review.
We're gonna have to. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to go and watch the review. Y'all stay here.
I totally.
And we'll be right back.
You're on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
And
she was the only black girl that you can see clear as day in that whole.
But that doesn't. Okay.
Why do I sense we've picked up another pathetic life form?
I don't want this stunted slime in my sight again.
They don't show shit for nothing. It's not like, oh, Order 66. Oh, forget it. That was just it. That was stupid.
Look. They could show things for
no,
nothing.
That was not for nothing. Everything connects. Everything meshes. Just like how she knew who Anakin was. That's how the temple. That makes sense. Everything connects. There is no like.
Yeah. Oh, that was actually, you know, that was a good interaction.
That was a good interaction.
And Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan was like reading
as he was figuring it out.
Yeah.
Or whatever, or reading her thoughts. You know, cheating.
Cheating.
So yeah, okay. So moving on to the next image,
which is
that you have in store for us. I appreciate that.
Loader.
Here we go. So it was not a trooper. It was a droid. Somebody was saying, "Oh, it's you know."
Yeah. The mental gymnastics on these people are incredible.
So hey, that is a droid blaster. And a battle droid blaster.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. That he's holding. So interesting. But yeah, I mean, okay, cool. This thing died.
Not as cool as K2SO, but I mean, he was
not as cool as K2SO, but you know, whatever. This is the one we got. And then of course you have Tala that well, she got shot in the stomach. And then she had a thermal detonator. So yeah, I thought her death was cool, but also like, okay, don't care. Moving on. I thought Reva should have died in that scene because she was right there.
She had
holy moly. It's a bomb. But anyway, I like that. So her getting killed, that's fine. Didn't mind it.
I mean, it was better than the other death from the last episode. I mean, I feel like it had a little bit more weight than the other one. The other one.
Oh, you're talking about Wade?
Wade.
Like, who cares? Who cares about Wade? And hey, finally, Obi-Wan surrendered, which should have happened in the last episode. But was it the last episode? The one that which one was the one that they were on the other planet and it was the fire? That was episode 3. So episode 3 that he should have been in cuffs. And it was cool. The same kind of cuffs or binders or whatever that Chewie had on when they were in the Death Star, and also Luke had in the Return of the Jedi. So very cool. Nice that they brought that back or whatever. And then
continuity.
Yeah. And then I think he dispatched of the.
But what I didn't understand was, okay, he surrendered. Okay, send him back.
Yeah.
What? I was like,
exactly.
Like I was like, what are these troopers on, dude? Like Lord Vader, for some reason, she made us send him back after we cuffed him. What the fuck? Like, because they're right here. And then how do they not hear this conversation happening?
Well, I mean,
they're not that far.
In those helmets. It is hard to hear.
I guess.
When we put them on, we can barely hear. So, whatever. That didn't bother me. We're not to the part yet that bothered me for the episode. We will get to that part, but we're not there. So, and this was a decent interaction between.
It was decent. I got her story. I understood her story.
I understood her story, but it still did not excuse the horrible acting that we got in the previous episodes from her.
Yes,
the whole chip on her shoulder, and all that, and because it was overkill. She was overacting.
It conflicts the whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't conflict it for me. It just says, hey, it's not that good. And then yes, you have a picture of
I already showed him.
We already did that one.
Yes,
we already
yes.
did that one.
Vader pull. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Okay. Okay, so here we go. So at the beginning, and I wish you'd gotten that image, the very beginning
What?
of this ship going descending into the circle, because there's no. It would show that there's no room for another ship.
No. It shows you because I was rewatching it frame by frame. There's definitely a second ship like just there, like they're
you
together.
can see it here.
Yeah, you can see it here, but
in
like there's a better shot
of the episode.
There's a better shot of it. I can pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up. I need to see it, because when I saw it this morning, I was like,
okay, this is as good as an image as
where did this other ship come from?
I don't know how.
It just seemed, very.
No, it's been there the whole time. I was rewatching it. It was there the whole time.
The whole time.
I mean, time.
Okay, these writers and people, they should have had a ship there. You can kind of see it's over there in the dust or the smoke or whatever. I did like this, but this awesomeness right here of Vader does not excuse the stuff that happens later on.
Bam.
Okay, so is that it right there at the top?
Yes.
Okay. So it just, to me, when it went down, it didn't look like there was.
And it is big enough.
And it's interesting because it's two of the same ships. Like, how?
Yeah.
Are they collectors of these ships? I mean, I don't know.
But they ripped this straight out of Force Unleashed.
Okay.
With the whole ship.
Well, they're gonna borrow from their own stuff anyway, and they can do that because they own it. So, but this is cool. I like that Vader was able
definitely
to pull the ship back in. But this right here destroys the last episode where the other episode where Obiwan is in the fire and he can't lift him up, but he can pull back a ship, but he can't, and he can force choke Obi-Wan in the air, but he can't pull him through the fire to him or whatever. And he just lets him go. He lets the droid take him. He can't pick up the droid and him. Like, that's not how the Force works. There's and then when the other ship left, he didn't just grab that one. Like, oh snap, I didn't need that one. Let me get this one. It just, no bueno, no bueno. I was just cool like, how do we get him out of there? I know another ship. Another ship. Yeah, that works.
He fell for the decoy.
But as soon as he figured out that was a decoy, he should have stretched out his other hand and said, "Come here," like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Let's go.
Get over here.
Get over here. Yeah. And then so there you go. Okay, so here we are. This is the issue that I have here with this fight, and this was also brought up by our good buddy Film Goblin. Here we go. He says, "How does Qui-Gon die, but the Grand Inquisitor survive?" And then from being stabbed. And right here, this was a cool choreographed fight. I like seeing Vader with two blades. He didn't do shit with them, but I like.
Oh yeah, it's just a cool
it was just really
shot.
Cool. Yeah. So anyway, so we can take that off. I have a little before we get into this, I have a little montage I set up for us. And you haven't seen it, so I'm gonna go ahead and play this. And I don't think there's any sound, but if there is, oh well, I don't care. Here we go.
I'll just make this
So here you go. 3 different characters all have the exact same wound, and he's like, "Oh, hey, here I am." Here I am. So they have 3 different characters. They get the exact same treatment. Blade to the abdomen. Blade to the abdomen. I can excuse the Grand Inquisitor because he's an alien, right? But yes. Reva and Qui-Gon are both human. It doesn't matter, about anything else. She is human, and they both got stabbed in the abdomen. Yet Qui-Gon died.
Well, here's what they're gonna say. Revenge. Revenge is what keeps them alive. Just like
my goodness,
alive. They all kept Inquisitor alive, Darth Sidious alive. It's gonna be revenge. But I'm like, why not kill her?
If that's the excuse, then I'm done with Disney.
Well, I'm just like, why not kill her just right then and there? Vader, like, why is he merciful? There's no way.
He is known for killing. And I mean, I'm sorry, but he snapped a kid's neck that didn't matter at all.
Anakin hesitates.
In episode
Vader
3,
does not
when he
hesitate.
was walking through the city, he snapped that kid's neck, but he can't kill Reva.
It's stupid.
I
can already hear the comments. Oh, she's still a chess piece. He's using
no,
her
it
again.
went as you can see, it went right through all blades. If you see, that blade went through him, that blade went through him, and this blade, and this blade went through her, all the way through, all the way through. So yes, these 3 characters should have died, and I don't care what anybody has to say about that.
Vader's like, how the hell did you get back?
He's like, I didn't get hurt. I'm good now. I went to the infirmary. I'm good to go.
That's just so out of character to me, man. I feel like he just would have killed her right then and there. Done.
He should have, because Vader and what also there's one other issue that I have a problem with it, and that's Vader. In that he's showing conflict here. He's showing like he's still thinking of himself as Anakin, where it should be from episode 3, Anakin's dead.
Yeah.
Anakin is no more. Like the next time that he has Anakin in his mind is when he finds out that he has a kid in Luke, and then he has conflict. And then it conflicts him even more when he finds out about Leia. And then he turns on Sidious.
Anakin
but this
Vader does not.
Destroys that, and destroys the weight or the gravity that Luke has with that, and in saying that he's been having conflicts the whole time. You know, Anakin is still there. It's there. Vader's just a name. It's not a persona. And
I mean, because like even the games where a Grand or not a Grand, but an Inquisitor turned Jedi, he killed her right then and there. The Grand Inquisitor in Rebels killed himself because he didn't want to deal with Vader because he knows Vader's gonna screw him up, so he'd rather die.
No, that was a bad move. He should have just got himself in the stomach and been like, you know, hey, I'll survive another day. Vader will realize,
or shit. It should have been like it should have been like
cool.
like it should have been like the other Inquisitors and the Grand Inquisitors surround her, and you know, it's kind of like a stab.
Yeah, they all kill her.
Yeah, it should have just that's how.
Yeah, it's kind of like a wolf pack. You know, she's the prey, and you've got you've got Raiden, that dude, and or Han or whatever. You've got the Grand Inquisitor back. You've got, the sister or whatever, and they should all come from behind her and be like, hey, yo.
And then the Grand Inquisitor comes in, and it's like,
yeah, exactly. He comes in, and you get to watch him come in. This was back in this shot here. This was so underwhelming. We'll get past. I mean, I can't fast forward this, but we'll get past these. But when you see the Grand Inquisitor walk in, it's a long shot, and it's very underwhelming. It's like, he's back there by the door.
Yeah.
And
there's no
weight
reveal.
He's just
no
like,
big reveal.
Yeah, he just walks in like, I've been here the whole time. So that's dumb.
It was just executed poorly.
It's executed poorly. Yes. I think that Deborah Chow is a good director. I just think that she misses a lot. Misses the mark where it could be great. It could be fantastic, but she's decent. And she directed some of the best Mandalorian, episodes, but I think giving her the full reign, she didn't hit it. Didn't hit the mark.
Again, the episode was solid until that point for me. After that, I don't know. I kind of got aggravated with the series as a whole. I was like, this isn't right. This is not how this goes.
But yeah, I mean, overall, at the end of the day, I enjoyed the episode. I didn't like the logic at the end. And that's what it is. It's like this here should be a chess match.
Yes.
But it was not a chess match. That they left her for dead, and they were like, you street rat, and like, what is this, fucking Aladdin? And they were like, yeah, we'll leave you to come back. No, chop her head off. She's done. Chop her head off like
Count Dooku her ass.
Yeah, Count Dooku her ass, man. I mean, that's what should happen. Instead, you know,
we didn't get this.
We didn't get this.
It would
have failed me for the last time.
like it would have been a great parallel where Anakin was like hesitant on chopping Count Dooku versus Vader does it without hesitation. Done.
Yes, it should be. And this is how I've always seen it, is that, you know, before this, you know, episode and all that, or before this series, is that Vader is not the same person. It's kind of like a multiple personality, or something like that, where, you know, you have something traumatic. Anakin is no longer in control of the thought process, and everything like that.
It's
Vader
like blind rage.
Yeah, I mean, that should be the dark side.
Yes,
you know, with this, it makes him more human than machine. You know, which destroys what Obiwan. He's more machine now than man. It's twisted and evil. He's not. He's more conflicted now. Twisted and screwed up. Yeah, he needs therapy. What we need to do is break him away from the Emperor.
I mean, yeah. Overall, I like the episode. Talking. It's just the ending part that kind of irritated me a lot with this series as a whole. And then again, the music, it's non-existent.
The music wasn't really there. You know, they need they at least for this last episode, they really need to amp it up. They need to kind of, and
like, are we seeing Qui-Gon in the end?
I would say you have to see Qui-Gon. I think Qui-Gon is going to be. They were saying his name like 2 or 3 episodes.
Is the runtime true for the last episode?
The hour and 30 minutes? It needs to be an hour and 30 minutes to make sense of this shit. So, it could be that, he is in it. I think they probably did get Liam. They probably threw, some money at him. I mean,
there's no way.
I mean, he's not really doing a whole lot of anything else anyway. And
his are like usually going straight to DVD.
He's like, it's Taken 4. I can't Taken 4. I can't take no more. But yeah, so they're gonna de-age him and then make him a ghost. There you go. But yeah, so
what are your thoughts overall? Your thoughts overall is you like the episode?
I like the episode. I like the episode. I like all the episodes so far. I think that, of course, in everything, we're looking at it with a critical eye. It's here's where it could have been better.
Because I think a lot of these badass scenes are like clouding people's minds, because like everyone's holy shit,
a lot of people attach right. A lot of people like this one here. A lot of people attach it like, oh wow.
Yeah, not only that, but like this, everyone's just focused on this stuff. But
they focus on that, and it's like, no, those are great, but you also have to think of story and context. It all needs to marry well, and you don't want to leave your audience with like a what. Kind of like Jar Jar. Misa no think so. But yeah, I mean, I guess overall it's good, and I think so far still I think that this is one of the best series on Disney Plus concerning Star Wars. Let's see. Oh, Kinky, what's up, Kinky? It says the being stabbed shit was whack. There's a lot of horrible writing in scenes. Right. I think that if they'd taken just a little bit more time, it just kind of seems like Rian Johnson is like the first draft, and that's they're good to go.
Yeah.
And
I feel like it's just a bunch of yes men. There's no like questioning of like, okay, how does this conflict with any of this?
They probably fire those people. It's like point of order. So that's it. You're out of here. Get him out of the boardroom. But yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but the writing group is they're mediocre. They could be better, and for fans like us that come out and point the just like Kinky and Film Goblin to point out the errors and the stuff that's illogical. They didn't go through and like watch the dailies or say, you know what, hey, we need to fix this. It was like, no, these stupid story beats need to be in here because how else do I get to this thing that I want to get to? They're not letting the story tell itself. in a way. They're saying, hey, I need to get to this point. How do I get there? And even if the characters go against their nature, getting to that point is where they really want it to be. So that's all they really care about. So that's kind of what I see when when we look at that. I'm just like, that's where the pitfalls are for me for the series. But guys, that's going to wrap it up for us for the review of episode 5 for the Obi-Wan series. I appreciate everybody for sticking around, throwing comments in here. I mean, I know there's an impromptu. We'll probably do the same thing next week. Where it's
finale.
Just within an hour, we're like, hey, we need to talk about this. But we will talk about the finale. We will be back. Hey, what's up? Let me pull this up real quick. There's lots of cool scenes that feel discounted, especially from the larger Star Wars narrative. If a fan says they're breaking continuity, I understand that. Right. I mean, I think they're breaking continuity just to give or supply more content. And I think if they took a little bit more time, they could probably refine some of the things that that kind of slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm not saying, hey, these things need to be 100%, flawless. But the flaws don't need to be a splinter in the eye, splinter in the mind's eye. Star Wars quote. They don't need to be, so easy to be pointed out. Yes, we're fans. We're going to pick things apart, but I would prefer that we, don't have it so easy to pick it apart. Like, oh man, picking it apart really seems like kind of like Top Gun. I'm sure, or the Top Gun Maverick. It's a great film. I'm sure there's stuff in there that I'd have to watch it again because I've only seen it once, but I'm sure there's something in there that I'm like, yo, hey, this doesn't make any sense. But I'm willing to forgive, certain things because overall it's really good writing and really good narrative and direction and all that. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really cool scenes in there, like the Vader pulling down the ship and ripping off the side and the little fight that they had. But that doesn't excuse the illogical moves where it's, the Vader just leaves people for like, hey, live to fight another day, I guess. See you later, street rat.
It's like you were about to kill her when you force choked her in like one of the episode 3 or 4 or whatever. Or episode 4.
It was episode 4 and
now okay, I'll just leave you for dead. Like what?
Yeah, that's right. Make the nerds work for it. Hell yes, I agree. Wholeheartedly. It shouldn't be just right there, blatant, for everybody to sort of pick apart. I know we can go back and say like George, these are for kids, but these are kids that kids are going to grow up and then they're going to look back on it like, oh man, I like the episodes, but it just kind of doesn't make any sense. And you have a lot of people who would be apologetics for these sort of things.
Well, yeah, and also there's a lot of mental gymnastics that people play with these kind of things.
Yeah, it's like, can we not just sort of say, okay, that was a flaw, let's move on? Because I mean, overall, I like the episode.
Like even whenever we talked about Reva knowing Vader, and we're like, oh, she should know his name. People are like, well, Vader trained the Grand Inquisitor or the Inquisitors or whatever, and I'm sure they all know his name. No, they don't.
No, they should. The only person that should know his name is Yoda.
We even got that clarified this episode. It's just,
Yoda, Vale, and Obiwan. Her finding out the name or whatever.
That makes sense. It's fine.
It makes sense in what you found out in this episode.
Because she thought he was supposed to save them, and she found out otherwise.
Snitches. Or when Bale snitches on himself. Yeah, I mean, but that's a plot device, and that moves it over. And we were talking about how, like, in this episode or in these episodes, Leia represents Grogu, and she's sort of like, Obi-Wan is the Mandalorian. And there, he has to get her back to, her people like Grogu or whatever, which would be Bale. And it's going to be the same thing if they do continue into, season 2. Then Luke will be the one that sort of is the MacGuffin, the one that you follow around or whatever. And he represents Grogu at that point in time because Obi-Wan will be watching over him. And there is a little bit of the same thing where I think that Leia in episode 4, A New Hope, knows of Ben, and then also when you listen to Luke talk about Ben, he knows him. It's not just that weird guy. No, it's like Ben, old Ben. He knows of him. He's had some interactions with him, and yes, they've got to get that little what a T-16 Skyhopper model back to Luke, and what's his face? Uncle Owen has to be cool with him keeping it this time.
Yeah.
Let me see. So here we go. Okay, the Bail message was dumb. It was just a plot device. Should have been Owen calling Obi-Wan for help. For help. Okay, for what? What? I don't think Luke was in any sort of real danger. I think Bail was saying he possibly could be.
Because he's worried because they've been radio silent for a while.
Okay. Right.
Bail,
so,
Bail.
I mean,
I understand.
I get it. But again, it was like it was something that really it wasn't needed.
No, it wasn't.
They just kind of threw it in there because they were like, oh well, hey, we gotta do something about Luke, right? Okay, so Kinky says, you're right. She's Grogu, and they can't think of other plots for the show. Exactly. I mean, unfortunately, and I like Leia. I think that the actress is great. She's doing a good job, with what they're giving her. I think she's head over heels better than the girls playing Reva. And she's a girl actor, child actor. So, child actor to an adult actor, come on. The what's her name? Moses something. Should be more refined. Here we go. And what's up, Gavin? Gavin says, I wonder what the show will look like with no Vader, because he's the best part of the series for me. Yeah, he's a freaking tank, man. It's awesome to see him again. Like this, like I said, this was dope, but you can't excuse dopeness. And as a like, yo, yeah, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. This is, oh wow, I remember that from episode 1. That's so awesome. And then go back and say, all right, so we had Obi-Wan and we let him go back, and that makes no sense. And then
it's just weird,
we killed Reva, but we're gonna let her live, and we're good with that. And then, oh, by the way, this guy's just kind of hiding in the shadows. Like, where was this dude? Like hiding in the he's like, ah, yes, Reva finally outed herself. I've been here the whole time, like what? It's kind of
hiding in the restroom. Is she gone?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I can come out now. Surprise! It's me, Grand Inquisitor, no ears. By the way, there's a second ship. And yeah, it was kind of I don't know. I thought the whole second ship thing was kind of stupid, but yeah, guys, thanks for coming by. I appreciate your comments. It really does help, and it really does make it more fun for us. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Like I said, we will be here next week
for the finale.
For the finale, and we always do these things. We just kind of throw them up on Twitter or YouTube or whatever, and kind of at the last minute because we don't know if we're available or not. And we just happen to be available today, and we really wanted to talk about it. But I will leave you guys again with this for those that showed up late. This is a little edit that I put together. Here you go, and it's got no sound. So there's Qui-Gon. Oh my god! Oh god! Right in the stomach. Oh my god! Right there. Oh shit! Oh fuck! Oh, in the stomach. You're dead. Not really. All right, you can go. By the way, I'm alive somehow. All right, well, that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll leave you out with this. What'd you say?
What?
Okay.
Do it. What?
Okay, here we go. That was a great episode.
ZEEVERFETT.
What?
Signing off. Goddamn.
ZEEVERFETT signing out. Later, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you saw, check out our other videos and subscribe for more. Be sure to leave your comments and suggestions down below. Don't forget to check out our TeePublic and Teespring store. And a thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Your support is much appreciated. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. This is ZEEVERFETT signing off.